Welcome, everyone. I'd love you to meet a couple of our presenters for the EFT gathering in Canada. It's the 5th gathering in 2022. I'd first like to introduce you to Catherine Lavender. Catherine, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you use EFT, both personally and professionally?
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I've worked in the realm of energy work for almost 20 years now, and I have a private practice, and I'm an accredited, certified, advanced EFT practitioner with EFT International, trained by Susan, of course, and I highly recommend it. It's changed my life. As well, I am a Reiki master, where I offer Reiki treatments, Reiki's being life force energy treatments. And I also train Reiki level 1 and level 2. I'm a registered yoga teacher, and I do sound therapy with alchemy crystal bowls. EFT, for personally, it's changed my life. If I knew then what I know now, I would have done it a long time ago. I find for me, I don't hurt anymore. Physically, I don't hurt anymore. And if I do, I mean, things happen and there's a twinge, I can recognize and go within and go, okay, what's this about? Tap, tap, tap. And then I can release the discomfort. And not only am I releasing the discomfort in my physical body, I'm releasing the emotional charge that's attached to it. Perhaps I was worried about one of my kids or a friend or my mother or something like that. And my body's letting me know. Changed my life. I wanted to share an example the other day. I've had a very busy couple of weeks, and I have appointments lined up for myself personally. And one of the people I was going to see had to cancel and change the appointment, actually. And I thought, whoa, this could send someone into a tailspin a little bit. But I sat with it and I thought, okay, I've got to figure this out. Sat down, tapped a couple rounds on it. And it was the quiet and the tapping that allowed clarity in my mind and in my heart. And this calendar or this schedule just sort of fell down through my third eye and just said, okay, you're not going to that appointment. Absolutely not. And this is how you're going to schedule it. And I went, oh, perfect. So I made a couple of calls. Nope, I didn't feel any pressure. I didn't feel any angst over it. And it turned out to be better than it was in the first place. So that was incredible. So life does throw us curveballs too, and it's how we handle it. And I figure if it can help me, and I can feel things in my heart, then I can help other people and assist them with their journey. And so how I use EFT with my clients is I have a lot of clients who deal with anxiety, family pressures, just feeling not worthy, not good enough. And I help them feel instead of think. And when they can connect to their heart, then it's not wrong. It's teaching and guiding people to listen with their hearts. And I do it and I believe it, then I can share. And not only do I do EFT, but I can fuse it with Reiki or sound therapy, vibration. And many clients really enjoy the EFT and tapping on their emotions and how progressive it is and how they, learn something and then can practice a little bit and come back and we can go a little deeper and so on. And then they like to finish off if it's in person, because I do treatments on Zoom, which has worked great. But if they come in person, a lot of them like to finish up with Reiki at the end, maybe 15 minutes of just downtime and just rebalancing and reconnecting that way, or maybe with a little bit of sound. But so it's a bit of fusion under the umbrella of energy. I've got all these connections to be able to support people to find their true self, to find their heart. If they find their heart, and if I can assist even just a little bit for them to live through their heart center with clarity and peace,
Wonderful.
and they're healthy.
Yeah, yeah.
About, yeah.
And I
And I
love your example about, just suddenly there's a big shift in your day, something you didn't expect. It could get you frazzled. So,
absolutely.
but you took those few moments to tap, to calm your nervous system, to calm your energy system, and in comes, hey, this is how you could reorient your day. And then in the end, when you look back and reflect, you realize, oh, that was actually a better setup for my day than what I had originally planned. And I find that happens again and again and again with EFT, where if we just take those few minutes to do a few rounds of tapping on these powerful acupressure points, that things will shift, the energy gets calmer, and in comes the inner wisdom, in comes the
beautiful.
yeah, the quiet reflection allows us, to come to calm, and then we notice things that we wouldn't have normally noticed because we were perhaps a little bit on the run or hurried or anxious about something. So that's a beautiful example of just a daily common
Life.
yeah. Okay, thank you. Tell us the title of your presentation and a little bit about what you have planned for us at the gathering in April.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about it. So the title is The Body Never Lies. Find the Key to Your Heart.
Mm-hmm.
So our bodies are constantly speaking to us, and it's just a matter of whether we're listening or not. So I'm going to help everybody to find what their body is saying. Connect with your heart. Listen. So I'm going to do an awareness piece. So getting out of our head and getting into our body. So it's going to be very interactive, actually.
Good.
So I'm excited about that. Yeah. So we're going to start off with a life balance questionnaire. So the questionnaire is just for you, but not for anybody else to see, not for me to see. I very often give this to a client for their first time, first meeting. And it's just to see where you might be a little out of balance. We think we're balanced, or perhaps we're a little out of balance, but this will bring us more clarity. So that'll take the first few minutes to start, and we'll do a meditation to just connect. And we're going to revisit and understand the personal peace procedure, because I think that's something we do, certainly in the training. But it's important to revisit it and go, where am I? Where are we in that? That little checklist of all these things that kind of bugged us, or that were not allowing us to live our best life. So let's revisit that, and let's do a group tapping. Borrowing benefits, I think, will be fantastic. And
there's nothing nicer than doing a borrowing benefits exercise with a room full of tappers. It's just the energy is so powerful, and it's simple, and there's this calmness that comes over the room. I love doing that.
Yeah. So that's it in a nutshell, pretty much what I want to do. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
That's wonderful. You've been to the gathering. This could be your fourth time or your third time. I can't remember.
It's only my second.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Seems like you've been to more.
Yes, it does.
What motivates you to come back?
Well, being with like-minded people, and to learn more. I'm a life learner, I think. And so I really want to tap into the knowledge that everyone brings, whether you're a speaker or a participant. It's so nice to meet new people and to live. And if it fits for me and I have a passion for it, then I can give. Then there's even more that I could give. So as you can see, I'm kind of passionate about it. So it's important that in my heart, if I can help one person and then connect with somebody else, and then they help their family, then they help their children, and it's a generational thing. So I just love to connect and just broaden the spectrum of healing.
Yeah. So what you mean is, if I tap and I'm a mother or a grandmother, then as I'm calmer and quieter, and I'm sort of walking through my life in a more balanced emotional state and physical state too, and energetic and spiritual state,
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
then that can only benefit how I raise my children, how I engage with my grandchildren, how I interact with my partner or my business partners, colleagues, the people around me, that allows me to be more within my true self and out of the angst of things that have happened to me in the past, that have upset me.
Totally. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. And as I said, life does pop in and throws you, pardon me, throws you curveballs. But to be able to model for your family as well, how you handle situations and how clearly and healthy you came out of it. If you look after yourself first, this is what I believe. It's the most unselfish thing that you can do, because then you can give. Right? We can't get water from an empty well, but if we look after ourselves, then we can give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that message is really getting through to people, especially with the challenges we've been through with the pandemic,
Sure.
Or any challenging time in life. But we're really starting to give credence to, take care of yourself first, and then you'll be so much better for the others in your life, as opposed to giving all the time. And I think particularly women give a lot, and we're nurtured and taught to give a lot, and then we forget about ourselves. We get lost in the dust. What's your website, Kathy? Just if people want to look you up online.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's calmisstrength.ca.
Okay.
Calm is strength. Yeah.
Thank you. And
Pleasure.
you're speaking first, I believe, right, on Saturday? Okay, so you're April 23rd. That's wonderful. And next, I want to introduce Jill Ferris. Jill, tell us a little bit about yourself and about how you incorporate EFT into your life, both personally and professionally.
Thank you, Susan. So a little bit about me. I was later to the work of energy work. So I just retired as a full-time paramedic of 18 years. And it was a wonderful season of my life. And tapping and energy work came into my life because of trauma. And basically everything that I was told to do to help to work through my trauma wasn't working. And I'm not the type of person who keeps doing the same thing and getting nowhere. Like, that to me seems kind of silly. And I actually got to a point so I had an 8-month-long anxiety attack all day, every day, and it was horrible. And I had never experienced anxiety before in my life. So it was completely new to me. So I have all the compassion in the world for people that have dealt with anxiety and trauma-related symptoms for a very long time. And I actually got to a place where I thought, well, I guess this is just how my life's going to be for the rest of my life. Like when really big stuff happens, like, I guess, like kind of like a sentence almost. And then one day, a wonderful email came across my computer from the tapping solution from the Ortners, and it said tapping for anxiety. And I was so desperate at that point in my life. I'm like, I'll do whatever to feel better. And I tapped along with her, and she asked me to take a breath. And I realized that for that moment, I felt better, and nothing else that I had tried had given me that peace in my body. And I was hooked from that moment on. So I went onto YouTube and I surfed all of those, free tapping meditations. And then I realized that I needed something deeper and more one-on-one. And I found Susan. And that was my journey into it. And I fell in love right away of number one, how quickly it worked and how effective it was. And then I decided to do the, level 1, level 2 training, and then pursue more of an accreditation process with it. So I am an accredited EFT practitioner. I also just finished my 2-year Eden Energy Medicine practitioner training.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a wonderful complement to tapping. And I also use another modality called biofield tuning, which is another form of sound therapy using tuning forks in and around the body. So I seem to, attract people who trauma and anxiety. That's kind of my forte. I've been there. I understand it. And that's where I really feel compelled to help people. So that's sort of how I use tapping and the body work and the sound therapy professionally. And then personally, I mean, I tap every day. I tap with my children. My children know how to tap. And it's this really wonderful thing, like Catherine was talking about, is it just tapping just creates this space and this pause. And I never understood that pause before because there was nothing in my life that gave me a taste of that. It was just always like reactionary, get angry or get mad and it just, once you understand and once you can explore how tapping makes you feel, there was no part of me that ever wanted to go back to being like that old way. And now it's wonderful, like my daughter is 13, so she's at that hormonal cusp and I want to be independent, but I still want my mom, and she'll have these meltdowns and I literally just hold space for her and I just tap on me.
Yes.
And I just hold that space and let her, go through all of her things. And then we talk about it. She's not so, open to the tapping, but my son, who's 12, who will ask me all the time, Mommy, can we tap on this? Mommy, this is really bothering. Can we tap? No problem. So talk about the benefits going forwards and backwards in a gift that you can, use to keep yourself calm, to, create that sense of safety with your children and your relationships, but then also be able to pass that gift on to your children. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah. And having raised 3 children myself, what I've noticed with teenagers is they head into their teens, they often don't want anything to do with what mom does, but they swing back around. It's like especially if they've had that tapping earlier in their life and they know how good it feels, then under duress, they will try it again, even if they just keep it all private, right? And you don't even know they're tapping. It's fine. They're tapping for themselves. They're being responsible. They're taking care of themselves, and they're helping them through the ups and downs of the teenage years, which is invaluable. Yeah.
Definitely. It's a skill I would have loved to have had at her age.
No kidding. No kidding. Yeah, exactly. What do you have planned? What's the title of your presentation and what do you have planned for us?
Yeah. So the title is Fight, Flight, Freeze, a compassionate approach to when you feel unsafe. And this workshop was born from my own experience through my own healing. So I always talk about EFT was kind of like my gateway drug, my gateway healthy coping into the world of undoing trauma and anxiety. And it was wonderful and profound. And from that, there's all these, little doors of opportunity of other things that you can do to complement tapping. And I love that, Catherine talks about incorporating Reiki into the tapping, because I think that really, really helps to solidify in the body the work that we do when we tap, to really deeply layer it into all those other energy systems. So this talk is very much about understanding this guy named Triple Warmer, and that comes from the traditional Chinese medicine approach of looking at the body and the body systems. And Triple Warmer is sort of the traditional Chinese medicine way of talking about the sympathetic nervous system response, or fight or flight. And for me, when I learned about this system and how it works, it so many light bulbs went off, because I understood what the goal is that he's trying to accomplish in the body. And there was a part of me for a very long time that felt like I had to fight against the goal. And what I realized was the more that you fight him, the stronger his hold is on you. And I had to learn that in my body, and I did. And so what I understood was, if you can pacify, or if you can give him what he wants to calm him down, then all of those layers of the body then open up, and all of the things that we attempt to get to as practitioners, to lift up from the depths where the healing needs to happen, we have to kind of make Triple Warmer our friend. And we really, really need to create that sense of safety so that we can get in and do all of that healing. So understanding how he works and what he needs to feel safe and comforted and supported. That's what this workshop's all about.
Yeah.
So how we do
rather
that,
than embattling with Triple Warmer Meridian, and you're using he to describe the meridian that's in charge of fight, flight, freeze, run away, save yourself, get out of there. This is an emergency. And that's where a lot of people get stuck when they're in an anxious state or they've had some trauma happen. They're a big worrier, that sort of thing. And you're right. It's sort of like you have to, rather than, I love the concept of, rather than in battling with triple warmer, we need to make friends and give triple warmer what it needs so that we can then see what's underneath, what's going on that got us into this this freeze, this stuck place. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other really neat thing about too is he is the holder of our habits. So when these themes have been in our life for a very long time, and it might have been because of different circumstances or different events, there are so many layers to him. And we just need to keep working through those layers, but also addressing the very ingrained habit that the body holds on to. And at the end of the day, he just wants to keep us safe, and he will do his absolute best job. So when we can have compassion for him and how well he does his job and kind of say thank you to him, that actually kind of gets him to back off right then and there, or just kind of like sit back a little bit. Oh, all right. She
Yes.
paid me a nice compliment. Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely speaking to the body and speaking to that meridian in particular in ways that help it to feel acknowledged, that it's doing a very hard job. It just got stuck in time. It froze. Fantastic. I'm really looking forward to both your presentations so much. Jill, you and I have been to a couple of gatherings over in England. You've come to a few. This is the second time you've done a presentation for us at our gathering here in Canada. What keeps you coming back? What motivates you to keep coming and to present?
Yeah, so I love to share this information. Number one, because it's impacted my life so much, completely changed the trajectory of my life. And I love the community. I am so ready to be around people after 2 years of being told don't go near people. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I love to learn, and I always learn something. Like there's so many nuggets that I take away from the gatherings, whether it's the ones that you host in Guelph or the ones that we venture to across the pond in England. It's a wealth of knowledge, like such a wellspring, and just to be immersed in it, it feels so amazing. So I love every nugget of it.
Wonderful. Yeah, you're a keener. There's no doubt
I
about it. We all are, let's face it.
Absolutely.
What's your website, Jill?
Website is energeticwealth.ca.
Okay, energeticwealth.ca. Super. Fantastic. Well, anything either of you want to add? Oh, I should also mention that because this is early days for people returning to live events, we're asking that everyone mask for the event, obviously, except while we're lunching and having our tea and coffees. But for the majority of our time together, we will be masked, and you obviously as presenters, when you're presenting, you won't be masked. But I visited the room the other day, and I am going to be posting another video of the room, and it's a nice large room. There's lots of windows, and if it's a nice day, we may even end up lunching outside. We'll see how the weather goes, but we're able to space the tables out. The numbers aren't a large group, and so we're going to have lots of room to be able to spread out. If people are considering joining us, you're very welcome. You're welcome to come as a beginner tapper. You're just sort of sticking your big toe in. Maybe you've done a little bit of tapping with the Tapping World Summit. Maybe you've done a little bit of tapping with YouTube videos. Maybe you've tapped on some of our videos, but you're welcome. And then also seasoned tappers, people who are using it in their mental health practice, in their schools, as social workers in the educational system, working in addictions or crisis work. There's just so many places. Even, EFT is now even being used in seniors facilities and in hospitals, in even in locked mental health facilities. So it's everywhere. And I am amazed now when I do trainings, when I'm training people, they come from all walks of life, and at least half, if not more, of the people who come to the trainings are in traditional mental health fields. And it's wonderful to see it coming into programs with Indigenous people, with people trying to deal with their addictions, and people dealing with panic attacks. Psychiatric nurses are using it. Like, it just warms my heart. Because when I started doing this training, I started teaching EFT and started in my journey with the EFT world. It was mostly lay people that were coming to learn tapping, and it's really spreading globally, which is fantastic. So anything else that you'd like to share before we finish up?
I would just like to share that I am thrilled to be attending. I'm thrilled and honored to be a speaker, and I can't wait to guide and help people to find the key to your heart, find your true self.
Yeah, and you're also going to be doing a sound healing for us on the Monday. So on the Monday, I'm doing a post-training workshop that's all about self-care, and we're going to be using a number of different energy psychology techniques and meditations and visualizations, and we'll be using Z-point process, and you're going to be doing sound healing with your crystal bowls, which I'm really excited about.
Yes,
so
I'm very excited about that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered to mention that. So
Yes.
so for anybody who wants to know more, it's EFTgatheringcanada.com. And thank you both for joining me. I really appreciate you spending this time, and I will see you all there.
Thank you.
Thank you both. There we go.